welcome back friends. So today we are learning about another function of human resource management, that is training and development, and this is a very important aspect especially in today's scenario because there are a number of changes that are taking place at a very fast pace, and due to those changes in the environment, the employees of an organization also must change, and to bring about these changes, training and development plays an important and a very crucial role. So we have learnt as far now that what is training and what is development, the difference between these two, why we need training, when to train, what is the category of people that need training, and what are the benefits. Now, as far as the employees are concerned, training is beneficial for employees also because it increases job satisfaction and recognition. So when employees, they are trained, it helps them to be more satisfied in their job, and it moves a person towards personal goals while improving skills. So every training is basically meant to improve the skills, so that leads to the achievement in the personal goals of individuals. Then it also helps in eliminating the fear of attempting new tasks. So if a new job or new task has to be done by me, and I am obviously going to fear on attempting those new tasks or new job or new role, but when I am trained on doing that particular task, my fear will be eliminated and there will be lesser amount of fear. So also training provides information for improving your leadership, communication skills and attitudes. Then it also provides the trainee with an avenue for growth. So when you learn new skills, your competencies increase and your there are chances of growth. So that also helps an employee to be more satisfied. Through training and development, the motivational variables of recognition, achievement growth, responsibility and advancement are more internalized, and also it helps to handle stress, tension, frustration and conflicts. So there are trainings that are done to basically help individuals handle stress in a more professional manner, and they can even resolve conflicts. Now, as far as the personal and human relations are concerned, training and development helps improve interpersonal skills. It improves the morale, it builds cohesiveness in groups, and it makes organization a better place to work and stay. Now, all these things by improving, the interpersonal skills, by building cohesiveness or building a positive rapport among people, all these things are very important for an individual or an employee to stay in that particular organization. So training and development, through developing interpersonal skills, it helps an individual to work and stay in the organization. And it also provides information on other governmental laws and administrative policies as well. Now, what are the factors affecting the success of training and development? So, as we learned that training and development is a vital, we can say, aspect of the human resource management department of the organization, and every HR wants to design a perfect training and development program for its employees. But what are the factors that affect the training and development? So friends, organizations today, they have substantial training budgets and a large number of training staff who design, develop and market these different training programs. Yet they do not get the results that they seek. So many a times the outcome is not achieved. So in order to have a successful training and development programs, the factors must be seriously considered. So let's consider these factors one by one. The first is organizational change. Now you must be surprised that is it a factor or an impact? Well, it is one factor that impacts and is impacted by training and development. So, the basic objective of training and development is adapting to change and responding proactively, as we stated in the beginning also. So, the objective of every training and development is basically to adapt to these changes. So, every change that happens has to be adapted to in a quickly manner. So, change involves moving from one condition to another, and it affects individuals, groups and the entire organization. So, the second factor that affects the success of any training is the top management support, and that is where most organizations lag behind, because top management mostly thinks training to be a waste of time, energy and money. So, top management support is perhaps the most basic training and development requirement, and if it is not supported by top executives, most competently designed training programs may also fall through. So, even if the training program is a perfectly designed one, it may not give you the required outcome if the top management or top level executives do not support it wholeheartedly. So, the support must go beyond a policy statement, and it must include their active involvement and participation. That is more important. So, they must be themselves aware of the relevance and the fact that training and development is very important to upskill your employees and to adapt them to the changing environment. So, they need to support and wholeheartedly be involved and participate in the training and development programs. The third factor is commitment from managers at all levels. So, it is not that only the top management should support, all managers, they should be committed to and involved in the training and development programs. The senior executives mostly, they always think that training programs are meant for their immediate subordinate managers only, and they think that they themselves do not need any kind of training. But that is the one mistake that majority of senior executives make. They think that they have achieved this level in the management, so they don't require any kind of training or any development program. But no, at all levels, managers must be committed to training and development. So, the next factor that affect the success of a training development program is the technological advances, and this factor is more relevant in today's scenario where everything has shifted to online mode and there is a huge use of the internet in training. So, technological advances has influenced training and development the most. So, technology is revolutionizing the way the training programs can be delivered. So, today we all know that instead of a classroom training or training in a physical mode where there is a trainee and trainer, we have more or less the online mode has become more prevalent and more popular, because you can just sit back at the comfort of your home and you can still get the training program through the use of internet. So, technological advances, especially computer and internet, they have dramatically affected the way jobs are performed by employees. So, in a similar fashion, these technological advances have also dramatically affected the way we used to be trained or the way we used to train other people. So, computer based training, as you all know, it saves lot of time, it saves cost and effort and are easy and comfortable to use. So, instead of going to a training program, or the trainer or even the trainee, they coming to or commuting to another place for a training session, I can just sit back at my home and be trained. Or if I am a trainer, I can just conduct a training program sitting at the comfort of my home. So, it is beneficial for both the trainee as well as the trainer. So, today more and more training modules, they are being developed by the organizations for effective training. So this is a current scenario, and after the COVID pandemic we can say it has become more relevant also and more prevalent even. So the next factor is organizational complexity. Now the degree of complexity has increased in modern organizations due to weakening of stability oriented traditional chain of command and rapid changes in technology, products, systems and methods. So the kind of organizations that we used to have maybe 10 years ago have kind of vanished, and today organizations are becoming more complex. So for that I think training and development is very important. Now this has impacted the training and development programs in organizations. So tasks of individuals and groups have enlarged and enriched, and employees are now performing more complex tasks than before. So it's not that only the organization has become complex, even the tasks that individuals are performing and their jobs too have become more complex. So therefore the employees need to constantly upgrade their skills and develop an attitude to adapt to change, and here is where the role of training and development comes into play. Now for every training and development there has to be certain inputs, right? So now the next topic that we are going to learn is about the inputs for a training and development program. So any training and development program must contain inputs which enable the participants to gain skills, learn the theoretical concepts and help acquire vision to look into the distant future. Now let us take a quick look at these inputs that are required for the training and development program. So the first input is the skills. So the basic skills should be imparted to the workers to help them operate the machinery and other equipments correctly with least wastage and damage. So for example, the employees must have motor skills, they must have interpersonal skills so that they can at least understand as to what is being taught to them. The next input for a training and development program is education. So it aims at teaching the theoretical concepts along with providing a hands-on experience to the employees, and education basically improves the employees' judgment and their reasoning power, and education is more important for managers and executives than for the lower cadre workers. So education is yet another input for the training and development programs. The next is the development. So training involves development, wherein more stress is given on increasing the knowledge rather than the skills. So knowledge about business environment, knowledge about the management principles and techniques, about human relations, about the specific industry analysis is also useful for better management of a company. The next input is ethics. Now what are ethics? You must have come across this term a number of times. Well, ethics are the principles that regulate the conduct of an employee at the time of undertaking any activity. So ethics basically tell us what is right and what is wrong. So training and development programs, they must provide knowledge regarding ethical conduct. So when you are working in an organization, you are performing certain jobs, you are in a position, you are performing a certain role in the organization, but you must also be aware of how to conduct yourself ethically and what are the things that can be done and what are the activities that must not be done. So that is the basis of ethical conduct or ethical training. So unethical practices, they thrive in marketing, finance and production functions. So there are many organizations that they undertake certain unethical practices, but these are unwarranted for, and every employee who joins the organization must be trained as to what not be done and what comes under the purview of being ethical and what is unethical. So the next input is change in attitude. This is a very important aspect of training and development. So one of the most important benefits of training is that it brings about attitudinal changes in employees. So attitude indicates the feelings, the outlook, the reaction, the beliefs of employee towards others. And once you are trained on certain skills, then these feelings and these outlooks and these beliefs of the employee, they change. So changing negative attitudes is difficult. So that is the biggest challenge of every training program, because it is very difficult to change our negative attitudes. Why? So here are certain reasons why changing negative attitudes is difficult. Because employees refuse to change. This is the most easiest and the most common reason, is because we just do not want to change. So when a training program asks us to behave in a certain different manner, we simply refuse to change. Then employees have prior commitments, so we have certain other or prior information or prior knowledge which causes a blockage, which does not allow us to change. And next is the lack of sufficient information to change attitude. So I am not properly informed as to why this particular habit needs to be changed, or why I need to learn this particular skill. So if that information on how to change and why to change is not there, or the information is not sufficient enough, so I will certainly not be very keen on changing myself. So it has a great impact on an employee's morale, motivation, loyalty, commitment and satisfaction. The next inputs are the extraordinary skills. Now apart from the basic skills, training and development scheme should impart some other skills to higher level employees, such as problem solving, decision making, industrial analysis. So these are also some of the interpersonal skills or soft skills that need to be imparted to individuals, but these are the skills that are required top in the hierarchy for top level management people. So these must also be imparted. The next is the literacy. So here literacy is not related to education, but it is the proficiency in the corporate language, that he or she must be fully aware of corporate culture to deal with international clients and customers. So every organization has its own corporate culture. So the employees must be trained about those cultural aspects of the organization. Also, if you are dealing with certain international clients, so every country also has its own culture. So if you are dealing with international clients or international customers, you must be trained as to what language to use, how your body language should be there, and how your behavior should be there while dealing with those clients or with those customers. Then another input in the training and development is creativity. So the social and technological changes that organizations are facing today, it requires creative decisions, and the best way to face these challenges is to make employees creative, and through training and development employees can be made to think creatively. So you need not always be taking the routine decisions or routine path towards achieving your goals. At times you can even think out of the box, but for that also you need to have that kind of a mindset. So, creativity is another aspect of decision making that can be learnt through training. Now, what is creativity? It refers to the process by which novel but situationally appropriate outcomes are brought about, and the essence of creativity is the element of freshness, originality and novelty that is appropriate to the content. So, while taking decisions, try and apply a fresh approach, an original and authentic approach that has not been used earlier, and these things can also be learnt through training and development. So, the next input is diversity. Now, due to globalization and the multinational corporation culture, every organization is witnessing workforce diversity, which refers to working together of people belonging to different regions, religions, cultures, languages, gender and even age groups. So, today organizations have a diverse workforce where people from so many countries, and even if it is for within a country, they are of different ethnic backgrounds, different languages, different even sexual orientations are different, and the age groups are also very different. So, this diversity can be a challenge, but it is also beneficial to the organization because diversity has always found to be promoting creativity and it adds to its vivacity. So, there are basically two types of diversity training that are given in the organization. The first one is the awareness building, and these trainings, they help the employees accept and appreciate the benefits of diversity. So, the first and foremost challenge that people face is that they are not ready to accept people of diverse backgrounds. So, if I am working with a person of some different maybe ethnic minority, so I might not be gelling with or bonding with him or her. So, in the awareness building diversity trainings, every individual is taught to accept and appreciate that diversity is an important aspect of teams. So, you have to accept them and you have to appreciate their contributions. And the second type of diversity training is skill building. Now, skill building, it helps acquire the needed skills to work with others in harmony. Now, this type of training, it helps people to work together in a harmonious manner so that there are less of conflicts between people of diverse backgrounds. So, the next input is crisis. Now, crisis, as we all know, it is an inevitable part of an organization. So, technological advancements and volatile environment is creating crisis in routine work. So, it is not that crisis is something that occurs after 1 year or 2 years. Today, every day is a crisis situation. So, there are accidents, fire incidents, employees might come drunk to their workplace, there is violence at workplace, executives are being manhandled and even killed. Now, these have become a part of organizational life. So, an executive or an employee should have skills to manage these crises and prevent it from happening, and if it has happened, then they must handle it after it occurs. So, each crisis needs a different approach to handle, and crisis training needs to focus on all these dimensions. So, the next part is the training and development as a competitive advantage. So, why is training and development causing competitive advantage? That how it differentiates you from your competitors. So, training and development helps remove performance deficiencies in the employees. So, when deficiency is specifically caused by lack of ability rather than a lack of motivation to perform, individuals have the aptitude and motivation to learn to do a job better, and supervisor or peers are supportive. Also, the training contributes to employee stability. So, we have learned that because training leads to satisfied and happy employees, they will definitely they are going to stay in the organization. So the attrition rate is low when employees are trained well. So employees become efficient after undergoing training, and they contribute to growth, which renders stability. Further, these trained employees, they tend to stay with the company, and that makes employees versatile in their operations. So companies that are looking to operate and compete in a global market, they need to constantly skill and reskill their people, and training has become a 24/7 365 affair. So which means that every day employees need to be trained, cutting across geographies and even time restrictions. So if you are willing to operate in global markets, so your people have to be trained. So friends, in today's section, today we discussed about training and development as an important aspect and important function of human resource management. And once the employees are there in the organization, they need to be trained because the current scenario, current environment is very dynamic. It's changing at the blink of the eye. There are so many technological advancements. Even the market is not very stable. It has become more volatile, and it has become even more complex. So to cope up with all these changes, I think that training and development of the employees plays a very crucial role, and training and development is not only beneficial for the employees because their skills are being enhanced, they are becoming more skilled, they are becoming more competent, more knowledgeable. But at the same time, when these skills and these competencies are applied in their work, the organization also succeeds. So training and development is a win-win situation for both the organization as well as the employee. So friends, we will continue with training and development, and we will look into some other aspects of training and development in the next couple of lectures. Thank you.